In this video, I'm going to build a little graphics program that will be a ball bouncing back and forth inside a window. So I imported graphics. I know I'm going to have to use the sleep to slow the animation down, and I set in variables the maximum width and height of the window. And here I set a delta x, and this is going to be how far the ball moves every step. It's going to go over 3 and up 4 every time we run the animation. I'm going to have the ball radius 20 pixels, and I opened up a window. So I guess the next thing we need to do is make a circle. And I'll make the center point at, well, let's have it in the middle of the screen. So I'll do max x divided by 2. I'll do integer division, and then max y divided by 2. So that's going to make our x coordinate, and then I need the radius, which is in the middle. So let's draw our circle, and let's make a little loop, and let's just start with the for loop to begin with. We're just going to go for blank variable in range. Let's just loop 10 times. Let's make it a little more. Okay, and what we're going to do then is every time we're in the loop, we're going to move the circle. So the circle move, and we're going to move it by delta x and delta y. Okay, and then when we're done, we're going to let me see, get mouse, and close the window. And let's run it and see if we have a circle that moves. Draw. Oh, I keep on doing this. To say where I'm drawing it to, draw it to the window. Oh, it moved too fast. So after every update, let's sleep. Let's just make it sleep that long. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so here's a question. As we go, this thing's going to go down here, and it's going to go down here, and then it's going to keep on going through the window. Not good. So we need to think about what happens when the center of the circle gets too far. And so if you think about it, we are going, when I said up 4, I meant down 4, because remember y is getting bigger going down. So when we go down 4 and we come here, what I'm going to want to have happen is I want the ball to bounce back, which means I'm still, if you think about it, I'm still going left to right. So at this point here, the x still should be moving over 3. For the next step right here, the x should be moving over 3, but the y should be going negative. So it used to be coming at a positive 4 going down, but here the y should be negative. So we're going to have to put in a check to see if the ball went out of bounds. And I'm going to do that check by, let's say before, let's do it after I draw it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the x value from C. And I'm going to check to see where that x value is outside the limits of the screen. I'm going to do the same thing for y being outside the limits of the screen. Okay, so I typed in the if statements. So if x is bigger than the maximum value, or less than 0 means it's on going this side, then what we need to do is change the direction that x is going. Just like when we went down at the bottom of the screen here, y was going positive 4, but then when it hits the bottom, the y direction, delta x, has to be negative. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make delta y, we're going to set that equal to the opposite direction, so -1 times delta y. And we could do the same thing here. And let me just show you this way we can do it. Multiply equal is the same thing as equal to delta y times -1 delta x. So we now, if x goes out of bounds, it changes the direction that it's going, and if y goes out of bounds, it changes the direction it's going. Let's see how this looks. We have a mistake here. I used get x, which is for points, and I should use, I should find the center. So get center is, we'll get the center of the polygon, and get x will get the center of the circle, and get x will get we'll get the y value of this. So this returns a point, and this will find the x value of that point. This returns a point, and this will find the y value of that point. Oh, we didn't go far enough. Let's set this to 120. And it bounces. The screen's a little too, I don't have the screen big enough here. Okay, you notice what happens though too is that it didn't bounce until the center went below the center. Went below the screen. So we need to change that. We don't want it to bounce then. We want it to bounce when the edge of the circle is there. So we need to think about the screen being a little bit. We have to check whether it's a little bit less than the max y value, or a little bit less than the max x. And the same thing, I shouldn't be checking for 0, I should be checking for. And all this is, every one of these things is a radius distance away. So let's check whether this is, you know what might be easier to do, since I'm using max and max a couple times. We could redefine it after we use max here. We want the maximum now. To be the maximum minus the radius. And the same thing for max y. And the minimum shouldn't be 0 anymore, so let's make a min x and a min y. These are both going to be equal to the radius, so I can do this. Min y equals radius. Okay, and now we're going to check, max x is already set to be the right thing. This should be min x, and this should be min y. Let's see if this looks better. Okay, and then the last thing that we need to do is we don't want to just stop after 120 moves. We want to make it go on and on and on. Hey, this is looking good. Okay, we could speed it up, let's say, by making this go a little bit, delay a little bit less, but we're going to turn this into a while loop. And here's where we're going to use, instead of get mouse, we're going to use check mouse. A check mouse will see if the mouse is clicked at some point. So let's say it's down here doing stuff and we click the mouse. It'll see if the mouse was clicked. If it was, it'll return true. So we don't want this to go only when it's true. We want it to go when no one has clicked the mouse. So this should be not check mouse. So until you click the mouse, this thing will keep on running. So and then we don't need this get mouse at the end. Let's see if this works. Oh, what's check mouse? Hold on a second here. Yeah, let me get the win there, sorry. And let's run it now. Okay. And it seems to be working. And when I click, it's done. That is that.